are some of the finest racing drivers in the world, and they're getting in a bit of practice before a big race. They're practicing the art of mastering their cars on the track, practicing their gear changes, their braking and acceleration, their positioning on each and every corner. If these top drivers feel the need to practice, how about us, the ordinary motorist? Unlike the racing motorists, we have to cope with overcrowded roads, bunged up with unskilled drivers. And unless we too put in some practice, the already high accident rate will reach catastrophic proportions. And what we need is not only driving practice, it's motoring practice. By consciously practicing all the time you are in your car, you will not only become a much better motorist, but you will enjoy motoring far more, and so will your passengers. Many of us believe that we have nothing to learn, and we kill someone on the roads every 62 minutes to prove it. But assuming that you accept the need to practice, what do you practice, and how? To begin with, carcraft. Learn to master your car. Pick a quiet side road with good visibility and with very little traffic about. First, steering. Hold the wheel at the 10 to 2 or the quarter to 3 position. If your seat is properly adjusted, your hands will fall naturally into position anyway. Hold the wheel lightly but firmly. Don't grip it tightly. Whenever you take a bend, always keep one hand on each side of the wheel, perfectly placed to apply correction. Don't cross your hands, or you may find yourself completely off balance at the very moment when you need every ounce of control you can get. You cut your control of a car by half if you drive with one elbow stuck out of the window. No need to hold the roof on either. It won't come off. This is not just the best way to take a corner, it's the only way. Use the push and pull technique, pushing or pulling with one hand and letting the steering wheel slide through the other. And don't let the wheel self-center itself unchecked. It might go too far. Next, the gears. If there are 4 forward gears on your car, learn to use all 4. This also requires practice. You should be able to change up and down smoothly right through the gears. If you ever find yourself stuck behind a very slow lorry on a steep hill, it's useful to be able to get into first gear without stopping. A lot of people who drive cars without synchromesh on first gear find this difficult. But if you double the clutch, it can be done. It takes a bit of practice, but it's worth learning. If you learn to use the gears correctly, you'll find that you'll get smoother motoring. No need to rush things either. There's plenty of time. And you should be able to change from top straight down into second without jolting your passengers. When you've learned how to keep the car moving smoothly, learn how to stop smoothly. Practice using your brakes. Here's a demonstration of smooth braking. This is not something to try out on a public road, by the way. You need a private area like this for it. You should be able to work your way up through the gears until you reach 30 miles an hour without spilling any of the water. And then stop again in 45 feet, still without spilling any of that water. If you can do this, you can claim that you've mastered the brake and accelerator controls. If you can't, you need more practice. Jam on your brakes like this, just once, and you write off 2 months of normal tire wear. With the wheels locked, you could get into a nasty skid, and it's extremely uncomfortable for your passengers. Brake smoothly and progressively for about 3/4 of the available distance, then gradually release the pressure on the brake pedal, and release it altogether during the last few inches. And remember, twice the speed means 4 times the braking distance, even under ideal conditions like these. A lot of people who are quite confident driving forwards find reversing difficult. This is hardly surprising, because a man who drives 10 or 12,000 miles a year hardly does more than 2 in reverse. He doesn't get much practice. So if you find reversing difficult, pick a quiet spot somewhere and put in some practice. Let the clutch in fully and control the speed of the car with the accelerator, not by slipping the clutch. And go easy on the steering wheel. It's a fact that few people seem to realize that if the road wheels are straight, your car will go straight back. Practice it and you'll soon get it right. Mastering the art of reversing is essential if you're going to cope with the problem of parking. Many people seem to be nervous of reversing into a space between 2 parked cars. They'd rather motor around looking for a spot into which they can drive forwards, though that is far more difficult, really. Looks as if her father's in trouble with that Rover of his again. He's never really got the hang of parking it. A bit galling for him, maybe, but she has mastered this business of reversing into a restricted space. There's a very simple way of doing it, and it works every time, with big cars as well as small ones. Pull alongside the car in front until your rear bumpers are in line. You should be side by side with about 18 inches to 2 feet between you. Now, full left lock and back slowly. When you know you can clear the bumper of the car in front, full right lock. Finally, move forward a bit to allow the car behind to get out. The art of handling a motor car, car-craft, is only half the story. However well you drive your own car, you've still got all the other road users to contend with. This is where roadcraft comes in. Once again, there is a method. Not just the best of a number of ways of dealing with all the confusing things that can happen on today's crowded roads, but a method of car control, which can be consistently and systematically used in every single situation that is likely to arise. The system is based on the letters CMS, BGA. Think of the phrase, "Can my safety be given away?" The phrase is only to help you to remember the letters, which really stand for course, mirror, signal, brake, gear, accelerator. These are the things you have to attend to. Course. Select your course. Mirror. Check what's behind you. Then signal. Brake, if you need to, and consider whether you're in the right gear. If not, change down. Finally, accelerate away. Can my safety be given away? Course, mirror, signal, brake, gear, accelerator. That's the drill. Practice it until you've got it perfect and apply it to every hazard you meet on the road. It requires concentration, and the best way to learn to concentrate is to give a running commentary, either out loud or into yourself all the time you are driving. A lot of nonsense is talked about commentary driving. People will tell you that you can't concentrate on driving if you're giving a commentary. The reverse is true. You can't give a commentary unless you concentrate. Here's how George Eyles of the Institute of Advanced Motorists does it.
Lady in the middle of the road here with a dog. I must watch him very carefully. Look underneath these stationary vehicles for feet. Yes, there are some there. I'm just going to cover the foot brake. Okay, they've seen me. Car in front appears to be doubtful as to where he's going. I'm in my correct lane, hand gear, watching those pedestrians. Lights are green in my favor, so I'm going through decisively. Traffic lights ahead are just changing from red to red and amber. I'm in my correct lane. I'm in the correct gear. Watch the pedestrians right and left. You've got every type of hazard through here. Cyclists, pedestrians, cars, commercial vehicles, the lot. Parked cars can be a hazard. Keep an eye on any occupants who may suddenly decide to open their door and get out. Now, I can only stay in the lane here. Not much technique about dealing with a situation like this. You just have to be patient. Bus driver signaling he's going off to the right, so I'm pulling in behind him. He's waved his thanks. That's rather nice of him.
The whole art of commentary driving lies in being not only aware of everything that is going on, but in selecting what is relevant, what is likely to become a hazard. For instance, in built-up areas, watch out for pedestrians, especially children. Even during class hours, there's always the chance of one sick child going home early. Give cyclists a wide berth. You can never tell when they're going to wobble or cut across your bars. Passing parked cars, watch to see if the front wheels are turning out. That way you won't be taken by surprise. A bus queue will stay put, but children with animals are unpredictable. A bus stopping. Watch out for pedestrians crossing in front of it. Use reflections in shop windows to help you see around blind corners. You can also use reflections in other cars to check whether your own trafficators and brake lights are working. At traffic lights, always get into the correct lane well before you reach the lights. Never straddle two lanes. If you do, you cut down the capacity of the road by 1/2. If you are turning right at a crossroads and another car is doing the same, don't block the road and force him to pass on your near side. If you do, neither of you will be able to see the oncoming traffic. Wherever possible, pass offside to offside. This gives both drivers an unrestricted view of the road ahead. No two roundabouts are alike, so you can't make hard and fast rules. If a roundabout is free of traffic, the correct course is the straightest possible line. Close to the near side curb as you enter, close to the center island, then close to the near side curb again as you leave. If you're taking the first exit out on your left, use the near side lane and signal before you go in. No need to signal that you're going right around a roundabout because everybody's going that way. But signal your intention to leave the roundabout as soon as you pass the exit before the one you intend to take. Keep your eye on the mirrors, the wing ones as well, in case there is anything tucked away in the blind spot. When driving on open roads, learn to read the road further ahead. Through open wire fencing and breaks in hedges, it is often possible to see what is hidden around a bend. When you take a right-handed bend, keep well into the left. This will give you an earlier view of what's hidden around the corner. Remember the golden rule about bends: in slow, out fast. And always do your braking before you reach the bend, never on it. Learn to anticipate. If you see a car coming out of a turning ahead, you've learnt that there's a road there, so don't be surprised if another car comes out. Overtaking is another hazard. On a left-hand bend, a glance down the near side of the vehicle you are about to overtake will often reveal an obstruction that might make him pull out suddenly. And once you pull out, get past him as briskly as possible and out of the danger zone. There's nothing fundamentally difficult about motorway driving. You just have to be more careful. Commentary driving is particularly useful on the motorway because it forces you to concentrate in circumstances in which it is fatally easy to let your attention wander.
Driving on the motorway demands common sense, frequent use of the mirrors, strict lane discipline, and treat 70 miles an hour as a limit and not as a target. Now I'm traveling down here at 60 miles an hour in the center lane. Checking the mirror again. I've got a car ahead of me, but you have to remember that twice the speed means 4 times the braking distance. So give your signals clearly and in good time. My speed is now building up to 70 miles an hour, and I'm remaining in the outer lane to overtake that bus. I shall be leaving the motorway at the next intersection, so when I'm well past this bus, I'll signal that I'm changing lanes with the near side trafficator. Let this small car come past. I'm down to 60 now and taking the near side lane, preparing to leave the motorway. These vans in front may be leaving, but I'm waiting for a signal. No, they're going straight through. I've still got my trafficator going to tell the chap behind that I'm leaving, and I'm progressively reducing speed. Now when you leave a motorway, always check your speed on the speedometer, because after you've been driving at 70 miles an hour for some time, speed can be very deceiving. I've taken up the outside lane because I'm going off round the roundabout to the right. I'm giving way to traffic in the roundabout until it is safe to go. Always drive decisively. If it's safe, do it. If you have the slightest doubt, hold back. Technical skill will make you a good driver, but it's your attitude which will make you a good motorist.
That's commentary driving. Practice it and you'll be surprised how rapidly your driving will improve. Practice your car craft, your road craft. Remember the system: course, mirror, signal, brake, gear, accelerator. Can my safety be given away? Or anybody else's for that matter? And use it all the time. It's good motoring practice.